Please welcome our panelists to the stage. Our moderator, Mike Aldo, who is counsel for King and Spalding. We've got Linda Laurie with West Tech Advisors, Jung Eun Park with BLT and Partners, and Eric Robinson from Baker Box, our home.
Thanks, Linda.
Thank you. So I'm Jung Eun Park. I'm from BLT and Partners. We are a South Korean VC. I'm from Seoul, so I flew here to FSN for this event. I'm looking forward to joining you in this panel. So I'm the only investor side here. I'm not the legal guy. I don't really know the acronym, so bear with me. But I think I could provide you with a new view on how we see as a foreign investor and a foreign investment who's interested in aligning with the United States and Korea's strategic partnership. Thank you.
Thanks, Eric.
Hey, good afternoon.
Overseas, Jung, could you talk a little bit about your perspective of what you see in terms of the future of a foreign investor, a close ally and partner investing into the United States, especially in these strategic industries that we're talking about?
Well, so I'm a foreign investor. I'm a venture capitalist, which means that I'm always seeking for new opportunities. Well, we all know that the new government is wanting the supply chain into the United States. And as an investor, we have to ask why. Like, what's the core mission that is behind that? It's not just building factories. That's not it. Korea is very known for its manufacturing. It's not just the manufacturing of factories that we have. It's not the assets. It's the intangible assets that we have as for example, our production lines. We have the laborers, we have the trained people who knows how to maximize the efficiency of those lines. For shipments, we've been well known for our legacies in shipments, manufacturing chips, manufacturing automobiles. A lot of Korean conglomerates are actually investing their money in order to build their factories inside the United States, but is that it? We don't think so as a venture capitalist. That's why we were talking about strategic partnership in order to seek out a viable partnership who we could trust in, especially with national securities. And that's where all the venture capitalists are interested in, because there's where all the techs are coming from. So in order to go more for that, you need to know a bit more on Korean history, where how Korea has evolved. It's through, we have usually been the ODMs and the OEMs from a bigger country like the United States, UK, or any European countries. We have licensed out their technology, and then that's how we learn that's how we improve our own process technology, we'd say. We're just not a manufacturing country. We're not like Vietnam, where we do all the cost reduction. We're not like China. We're not like Japan, where they have their own original IP. But we're more focused on the customization and on the progress, where you guys, well, United States have a good core technology or the fundamental technologies that could be aligned with our progress technology. That's why our conglomerates also are taking the SMEs and also are considering into more investments in both sides, because all the tier 1, tier 2 suppliers are still in Korea. They can't come into the United States because they're very small scale, and it takes a very long time in order to train all those people back in the United States. So, I mean, there's a lot of opportunities that we can talk about. Moscow was a good project. Hyundai and Samsung is also investing in projects here. And I think it's just a start where, well, how the bilateral agreements are actually affecting the private capital. Thank you.
So let's pivoting a little bit from kind of the incentive side. We talked about some of the risk that is out there, not to use an acronym, but CFIUS is one that I know comes up and we get questions about, especially from overseas investors, how this plays out. Linda, we don't have time for a full CFIUS, even 101, but just to kind of set the stage so that about what CFIUS is, what the process is like today, and really maybe hit some of what you know CFIUS is areas that you're really concerned and looking closely at as U.S. policy seems to be in flux in some areas. How does that impact your decisions?
I mean, starting with tariffs, right? And all the regulation and the changes in what is defined as a quartet or an alliance. It's just that we have to wait. It's not really easy to make an investment decision in these uncertainties, especially when it's required to invest a bunch of dollars, billions, I'd say, because especially in this era, it's where you invest in. If you invest in the right direction, you'd skyrocket, but if you're not, you just die in a few weeks. So it's like we need a good signal. I think things are getting clearer. It's being defined, but it's still hard, guys.
costs look like of CFIUS? How have you kind of factored that in, and how has it impacted what you've invested in or thought about investing in?
Yeah, well, personally, we, BLTM Partners, has actually looked into some of the United States startups, especially in robotics and like drones, which is considered a core technology. And in the term sheet, there were some problems regarding the CFIUS, because in order for a startup to go through that CFIUS process, which has a lot of uncertainty, it's just not sure if they could finish their fundings, right? And as a founder and as an investor, those kind of uncertainties are very hard for us. And it's very challenging for us to actually directly invest into the United States, which we know that it's going to succeed, but now it's just that we can't invest. It's just because we're not a U.S. entity. And that's why we're talking more about the strategic partnership, because if U.S. core technology companies actually use Korea's manufacturing, like factories or processes, I mean, the base technology and the secret sauces are all in the United States entity, right? Then if the money comes from, if the, what should I say, the end product comes from Korea, you have to pay the tariffs. It's the end users who have to pay the tariffs, even though it's a U.S. entity's product, right? So that's a question that we have to like think about, but I think it's a governmental thing, it's not an investor thing. It's just we're thinking for new opportunities that might pop up.
As a lawyer, I love complicated questions like that. People pay me to answer. Eric, let's go back to you a little bit about, and I'm going to use the acronym, and you can un-acronym it, OSC, and a little bit about how, don't lie, but what's the positive angle from an overseas investor?
I mean, look at the mascot project that Korea came up with. It's a good example of a strategic partnership where it does not only involve financial, but also involves in other things such as progress of the people, the shipment know-how that we have. And I think this is what we could work more on, well, alongside the regulatories and all the complex stories that you guys just said about. But still, I mean, there's always an opportunity, right? And I think that's how we want to grow, especially in this high-tech society where things changes really fast, and that we want to produce high quality with high productivity. It's not just money that the United States want. I mean, you guys have a lot of money. We won't be that much help. It's the know-hows that we could provide. It's the other things that we could provide as a trustful partnership. So, I mean, I'm a founder. I know all the risks, but I don't know the risks. So I'm also looking for a good partnership right now. That's why I'm here. And I mean, I've met a lot of good people here and there. So, yeah.
I mean, my positive note is that we are in a pretty interesting time for you all. There is a great deal of appetite for commercial technology.
Learn to meet people. I'm actively going to disappoint everyone. So with that in mind, the federal government is still working on its organizational system for what its investment.
It's the Southwest everybody's money. So you get to pick